Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Certainly happy to have you along. Chase McLaughlin has it on the tee, and off we go here in Tampa. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. They go play action with Hurts. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice consistent gain.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Here's Hurts to throw. Complete. It's Dotson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing is Hurts. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Mayfield. It's caught by Mike Evans. And Evans will have a Bucs 1st down as he'll take this down inside the 45. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Mayfield off the play fake. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Going across the formation, there's Otten with it. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Cade Otten from 21 yards away. And the Buccaneers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
The kick by Elliott is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On 1st and 10, here's Irving. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Mayfield looks to throw. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. In motion right, Evans. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Throwing, Mayfield. He completes it to Evans. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards there on the catch and run. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bucky Irving, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Buccaneers are able to stretch out their lead. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Barkley, inside handoff, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
A first down carry for Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd and 5. Dotson in motion right. Looking to throw on second down. Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as a tackle made at the 18. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. In motion left comes Brown. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run with Barkley. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. This defense, tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, thinking about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a give, Irving running right. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
3rd down and 13. Here's Mayfield. Here's White. They set up the screen. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. First by him near the 35. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Hurts to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A run up the middle with Irving. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there just before halftime. 69 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 right at the 30. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Evans comes in motion right. Mayfield down. And a catch right side by Evans. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Mayfield with it once more. Throw out right. It's brought in by Otten. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now a 2nd and 2. Back to throw again. He finds his target. It's Evans. And Evans will have a Bucs first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone. Mark him at the 21. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And again, it's Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Mike Evans from 3 yards out. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll begin by running the option. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right. And as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
Hurts sets up to throw it. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing is Hurts. And this is going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. A first carry for Rachaad White. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Mayfield now from the 50. He's across midfield and finally brought down at the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the handoff, this is Irving. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Mayfield off the play fake. That is caught. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Here's a quick pass. He's got Chris Godwin. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. In motion goes the tight end. Mayfield on play action. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Irving is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Rashad White taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs are able to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Avery Williams now returning it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
From the gun, it's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Up the middle with Barkley. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Hurts. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Hurts fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Here's a handoff to Irving. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Once again, it's Irving. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd down and 8. In motion right is Evans. From the gun, Mayfield. Touchdown! From 17 yards out. And the ball wider here in the 4th. Total team effort, CD. I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Back to throw here. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. He'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
On the ground, it's Irving. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and 5. Mayfield now. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 103 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A run with Irving. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Second down and a yard. Throwing is Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw again. This is Smith with a grab. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is...
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.